Hey everybody, Doc here. I can't believe we're in week 2 already. I hope you guys are enjoying Camp Challenge on the Go. I know that I am. I've been watching the videos. They are amazing. So today, I thought first we do a little bit of a review to see if you remember what we talked about last week. Last week we talked about fractions and what fractions were and how to write fractions. So here I have some emojis. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Okay, here we have some emojis. Now, first thing I need you to do is tell me how many total emojis that we have on this diagram here. How many total emojis do we have? Go ahead and put your answer in the chat or put it in the comment section. Okay, so let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We have 20. Another way that we could have got the number 20 is if we realized there were 4 in each row. I have 4 here, 4 here, 4 here, 4 here, and 4 here. So that means I'm going to have 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, so that is our total number for our fractions. Let's take a look at how many of our fractions are crying emojis. How many of our fractions do you think are crying, or how many of our emojis are crying emojis? How many of our emojis are crying emojis? Take a minute and take a look and count and see how many there are. Okay, let's check. Ready? 1 crying emoji, 2, 3, and 4. So I have 4 total crying emojis. See if I can draw it here. Not very good artist, huh? Okay, so I have 4 crying emojis out of 20. 4 out of 20. So 4 20ths. Now, for those of you that recognize that you can reduce this, you can see that 4 will divide into 4 and 4 will divide into 20. Anytime you see a top and bottom that will divide by both, but by a number, you can do what's called reduce. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. So this fraction actually reduces to 1/5. Now if you didn't get that right away, it's okay. The most important thing to understand right now is that you understand there are 4 out of 20 crying emojis. Okay? So that's our review. So now let's take a look at what we're going to do today. I have to grab my eraser. Okay. So one thing that I notice about students, no matter how old they are, whether they're in 4th grade, 5th grade, or sometimes even high school, and sometimes even in college, is that they often have a hard time knowing their multiplication tables. So my thought today was we really need to practice our multiplication tables. Now, you can find some games online to practice multiplication tables. You can do that, and that's really helpful. You can also find charts online that you can read over to help you remember your multiplication tables. But it's really, really important that you understand your multiplication tables. because if you're stuck on multiplying, you're going to get stuck on whatever's next. So let's combat that and let's get our multiplication tables. So today I want you to get a piece of paper and a pencil, and we're going to practice. And I don't want you to get frustrated if you don't know them. This will just be a little game for us to see how well you know your multiplication tables. And we're going to practice them about 3 times to see if we can remember more the first time, the second time, or the third time. Okay? So, go ahead and get your paper and pencil out. If you need to pause the video, go right ahead. Alright, now I want you to, on your paper that you have, I want you to start numbering down the paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll do 10 at a time. I think 10 at a time is enough at first. Okay? So we're going to write 1 through 10, and we're going to do that a few times. So let's try our first 10, and what I want you to do is to write down what you think the answer is. Now I'm not going to give you the answer until we go through all 10, and then we'll go back and check. And remember, you're the only one that sees your paper, so you don't have to worry about other people knowing whether or not you know your multiplication tables. This is just for you so that you know whether or not you need to practice them. Okay, so I'm going to pick 10 multiplication tables out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, we're going to start with this 10 first. Now, I'm going to put a card down, and I want you to put what you think the product, we call it a product when you multiply, what you think the product is going to be. Okay? Alright, so let's do it. Here we go. 4 times 9. Write down what you think 4 times 9 is. Next one, number 2. 8 times 4. 8 times 4. Number 3. 5 times 3. 5 times 3. Number 4. 7 times 3. 7 times 3. Now don't get frustrated if you don't know. That just means we need to practice more, that's all. Here's a little bit of a tough one. 12 times 7. 12 times 7. Next one. 0 times 8. 0 times 8. Next. 7 times 6. 7 times 6. Eight times 8. There's a little rhyme about this one. I ate till I fell on the floor. 8 times 8 is, we'll see. Next one. 7 times 9. 7 times 9. There's a little trick to doing 9s also. But sometimes I notice that people rely too much on that little trick and then they don't take time to memorize and know their multiplication tables by 9s. So we're going to try to make sure that we do that. And then finally, 8 times 7. 8 times 7. Okay, let's see how you did. Let's look at the first one. 4 times 9 is 36. 4 times 9 is 36. Now you might know the hand trick, and I'll go ahead and show that to you, but I don't want you to always use the hand trick because, you know, then you're in the middle of doing a problem and you have your hands up and you're, trying to do the problem and have your hands up. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see my hands a little better. Okay, if I have 4 times 9, whatever number I'm taking times 4, if I put my hands out and I count over from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, I take that fourth finger and I put it down. Okay? 4 times 9 is, here's my 3 for 30, 30, and here's my 6. 4 times 9 is 36. 36. Okay? Now again, that's a fun trick, but we don't want to rely on that all the time. So we'll just use that until we really know our multiplication tables. All right, let's check the next one. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 4 is 32. See how you did. Just mark on your paper whether you got it correct or not. Next one. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 3 is 15. I'm excited to see how well you do. And again, don't get frustrated if it's not well, because that just means we'll practice more, that's all. The next one, 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 3 is 21. Here's our tough one. Let's see how you did. 12 times 7 is 84. That one was tough. 12 times 7 is 84. And then after that tough one, we had kind of an easy one because we have 0 times 8 is 0. 0 times any number is 0. 0 times any number is 0. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 6, 42. This is one that a lot of people forget. So we're going to study this one extra hard. I ate till I fell on the floor. 8 times 8 is 64. There we go. 8 times 8 is 64. We'll see how you did there. Next one is another one times 9. So 7 times 9 is 63. Let's see if that works with our hand trick. So we got 7 times 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I put my 7th finger down. So now I have 6 here and 3 here. 6 here and 3 here. So that's my 63. And again, that's fun to do, but we want to make sure that we study these until we know them. And finally, 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 7 is 56. Now, I'm really curious to see how you did. So, if you're with me on the Zoom, go ahead and put how many in the chat. Now, if you don't want anyone else to see, there's a private chat you can put it in too. So, let me know how many you got correct. Let me know how many you got correct, and you can put it in the private chat on your Zoom. If you don't know where that is, that's okay. You don't have to answer. Okay, you ready to do another set? Let's do it. Okay, number your problems again, 1 through 10. 1 through 10. Right beside it, you can do it. You can see I was kind of keeping track, but right beside it, you can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we can do it again. Okay? All right, are you ready? Here we go. 7 times 7. 7 times 7. 11 times 7. 11 times 7. 10 times 9. 10 times 9. 11 times 9. 11 times 9. It's like we have a good bit of 11s in this stack because this next one is 11 times 8. 11 times 8. Next one is one that so many people miss. 6 times 8. Do you know what 6 times 8 is? 6 times 8. How about 4 times 5? We saw this one earlier when we did our emoji fraction problem. So what is 4 times 5? 12 times 3. 12 times 3. 4 times 6. 4 times 6. And lastly, 7 times 4. 7 times 4. Let's see how you did. Okay, ready? 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 7 is 49. 11 times 7 is 77. Now look here. You multiply 7 times 1 and 7 times 1. 77. 77. 10 times 9 is 90. Now anytime you multiply something by 10, you just take that number and you add a 0 to it. 10 times 9 is 90. Here's another 11 problem. 11 times 9 is 99. So again, 9 times 9, 99. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 1 is 9. 99. Same, 11 times 8, 88. So we have 8 times 1 is 8, 8 times 1 is 8, 88. Now this is one that a lot of people miss, so we'll see how you did on this one. 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 8 is 48. Here's the one from our emoji problem we did in the beginning of the video. 4 times 5 is 20. So we had 20 total emojis, remember? We had 4 in each row and we had 5 rows. So we had 20 total emojis. "12 times 3 is 36. Now again, here you can multiply. You get 6, 2 times 3, and 3 times 1 you get 3, so you have 36. 6 and 3, 36. "4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 6 is 24. And finally, our last one, 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 4 is 28. Now, there's a lot of ways to think about multiplication tables. You can think about, I have 4 rows of 7. I have 7 rows of 4. And the other thing I want to point out too is let's take a look at these two beside each other. We have 6 times 4 here. We have 7 times 4 here. The number that changed would be the 6 and the 7. So the one that stays the same is the 4. So if I go from 6 fours to 7 fours, I'm just adding 4 to 24 to get 28. Now, hopefully that didn't confuse you, but if it did, it's okay. Okay, the point is that I have 4 on both sides. This one is 6 times 4, 24. And this one is one more than that, 7 times 4, which is 28. So I just need to add 4 to 24 to get my 28 because I have one more. Okay? All right. How about we do one more set? Okay, here we go. 1 through 10 down on your paper. And let's start. 3 times 9. 3 times 9. Yes, you can do the hand trick with this one, but do you need to? 2 times 4. These ones are a little bit easier. 2 times 4. 7 times 4. 7 times 4. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking right at it. It's 7 times 2. 7 times 2. I think Doc needs some sleep. 7 times 2. How about 3 times 4? 3 times 4. Mark your answer down. 8 times 3. 8 times 3. 5 times 5. 5 times 5. And if you know 5 times 5, what's 6 times 5? What would 6 times 5 be? How about 7 times 5? So we want 5 times 5, 6 times 5, and of course it says 5 times 7, but you can read it 7 times 5. Because multiplication, it doesn't matter what order. You could say 5 times 7 or 7 times 5. And if you know that one, 5 times 8. Let's see if you're getting the pattern here. 5 times 8. And then finally, how about 9 times 5 or 5 times 9? Now this is going to be interesting. Let's see how you did. 3 times 9, 27. 3 times 9 is 27. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 4 is 8. 7 times 2, 14. Did you get 14? 7 times 2 is 14. How about 3 times 4 is 12? 3 times 4 is 12. And 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 3 is 24. Now let's start looking at our pattern that we had here at the end. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 5 is 30. Do you notice that it's 5 more? If this is 5 times 5, and I have 6 times 5, the one that's the same is a 5, so I add 5 more on and I get 30. Then I had 5 times 7, which is the same as 7 times 5. Notice 25, 30, 35. 25, 30, 35. And again, it doesn't matter whether you have 5 times 7 or 7 times 5. I'm going to bump this one over and let's look at our next one. What do you think 8 times 5 is going to be? What do you think 8 times 5 is going to be? We have 25, 30, 35, and 40. Did you get 40? 8 times 5 is 40. And finally, last but never least, is going to be 9 times 5, 45. 9 times 5 is 45. So hopefully you saw that pattern. We started with 25, 30, 35, 40, and 45. Well, that was a lot for today. So I think maybe we should just practice. How do we practice our multiplication tables? Well, you can look them up on a computer. They're easy to find. When you look them up, you can just print out a sheet, and if you can't print it, just leave it on your tablet or on your phone and just practice them. Saying them out loud is really important. So just walk around the house saying your multiplication tables. It will help you, and you will be amazed at how much better you do in math class when you know your multiplication tables. It's a really big deal. Okay, so this is going to be Doc signing off, and for my last question in the chat, I want you to put, what is 0 times any number? What is 0 times any number? So what is 0 times 3? Put your answer in the chat or the comment section, and I'll see you next time. This is Doc. Peace out.